on and get into this match preview. 3 games gone in the Champions League so far, I think it is. Copenhagen, only 1 point so far, which came in the opening game, which they actually got a credible draw against Leverkusen.
Football Beam says Copenhagen slapped Monaco, mate. What are you talking about? Did they? No, he didn't. They haven't won a game.
No, Copenhagen are on 1 point.
Yeah, what are you on about, Football Memes? What are you on about?
Yeah, they've drawn against Leverkusen 2-2. They lost to Karabag, and they lost... Who else did they lose to?
And they lost to Dortmund.
Dortmund, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, they haven't had the best start to the campaign. I think, if they're doing their due diligence on Spurs, they probably think they can come to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and get a result. But, we need to stamp our authority in this game. We cannot lose this game. We really can't.
They're currently 4th in the Danish Superliga.
Yeah.
So they're not doing well at all in the at home domestically.
Yeah, only 5 points off the top, so not
4th,
much in it.
That's not where you think Copenhagen should be in that league.
Yeah, I mean they are usually floating around the top 3 with Midtjylland and Brøndby. I think are the other 2 big teams in Denmark. So I don't know. I mean they're not. Do they win it every year like it is for Celtic in Scotland? I don't know
if it's like that, but I think they're pretty dominant. I think 4th is pretty bad for them. It's pretty unusual for them to be low down like that. And they are having a particularly bad season, I think. So I think hopefully this is a good time to get them along confidence. I think Copenhagen are one of those teams where they're never going to win the Champions League or anything like that, and they're always going to be going out in the lower. They're going to be going out in the early rounds or the group stage, but they always have a good conveyor belt of talent they're producing.
Yeah.
A lot of good players come from there. A lot of you look at the national team, a lot of the good Danish players start off in Copenhagen. They've got a really good academy. So even though you look at their team, you might not know a lot of their names. They always have really good talent, and they're always difficult to play against.
Yeah, the latest export, isn't it? Victor Froholt from who plays in the Portuguese league. I think was it Benfica?
Rooney Bargi just moved, didn't he?
Rooney Bargi, yeah, plays for Barcelona now.
They always
Spurs
just got a conveyor belt
for a while. But yeah, I was just looking at their past league finishes. They haven't finished outside the top 2 since 2008.
Yeah.
And before that, so basically since 2001, they've only finished outside the top 2 in their league once.
So it's a particularly bad season at the moment.
Yeah, they've already lost as many games this season as they did the whole of last season, it looks like. So yeah, it is a particularly bad season. It's probably... looking at those stats, it's probably panic stations in the Copenhagen fan base.
They lost to Karabag. I mean, when you're losing to Karabag in the Champions League, that smells trouble usually. As much as Karabag are not an awful side, but when you're losing to them 2-0 like they did, that's got to be bad.
But a team like Copenhagen can give the majority of teams trouble on their day. Because even if they're on bad form, just a one-off game, they pull themselves together. They know it's one of the biggest games of their season. And they can give us problems for sure.
They're usually full of good technical players. Copenhagen. They're usually quite well coached, and they're usually quite easy on the eye. They play really nice attacking football, but they have that Nordic kind of strength about them as well. They're not it's hard to bully them. So to be fair, I don't know a lot about how they're doing this season. Clearly they're struggling. Clearly things haven't gone right in their league, but. You just know at Copenhagen, they've probably got some wonder kids in their team that if you underestimate, you're going to look stupid.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with them.
I mean, who they do have in their team is, first of all, Elanusi. I think he used to play for Southampton or someone.
El Canus.
No, Elanusi.
Elanusi.
Didn't he play for Southampton? Yeah, he played for Southampton for 1 year, and then we moved to Celtic. Do you remember him? Mohamed Elanusi, 31 years of age now.
I think so.
But another player that they have in their team, he was all the rage a couple of years back.
Oh, El Yunusi, yeah.
Was, what's his name? Mukuku from Dortmund. Muakoko, how you pronounce his name. As a 16-year-old, everyone was touting him as the next big thing. It was quite a shock to me when I heard he was going to Copenhagen.
Yeah, he burst on the scene at Dortmund, didn't he, at 17? I think he was scoring goals even off the bench, and he looked like he was going to be the next big thing, but... just didn't quite work out for him for one reason or another. Never really nailed down a starting spot. Has been on a few loans, I think, and now he's at Copenhagen. So I think he went to an international tournament, didn't he, with Germany? I think.
Yeah, he did.
Saudi.
Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
So this was supposed to be a wonder kid, but it didn't quite go right for him. How's he doing though this season?
He's not doing great, to be honest.
I think he scored in one of the Champions League games.
He scored actually. He's got 4 goals in his last 2 games, but he scored a hat trick against in the cup. I think against like a lower league team.
Okay.
But he's only got 3 goals this season.
Yeah, not great. So that's one player who hasn't really lived up to his potential.
Yeah, he was at Nice last year, got 2 goals in 11 games.
Wow, it's really gone wrong for him. I know this guy Victor Classen. Yeah, he's a good player.
But he's got time in his side though. He's only 20 years of age.
Yeah.
Like.
Sometimes we wonder kids, they burst onto the scene when they're not like Yamal. People like start thinking, well, I guess it's been a lot worse than that. But, you know, I agree. He's only 20. You know, some players, look at Dembele. He only really reached his potential last year. And it can happen at any stage for a lot of these players.
Mm-hmm.
I know Victor Classen, he's been there a few years. He's a quite good forward player. He's quite strong. I like him. And then they've got on the bench former Cardiff player Andreas Cornelius.
Cornelius.
A striker. Didn't do very well in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But, yeah, maybe he's come home and doing a bit better.
But it's so important. When you look at the outlook of the group, we have to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the results haven't been... They've been okay in the Champions League. We've drawn our away games, but we've drawn some games where we probably had down before a ball was kicked that we would have won. When we saw the groups or when we saw our fixtures before, we were like, all right, we can finish top 8 here. Mm-hmm. I don't really think we can finish top 8 anymore with the results that we've got. But we need to win this to just to make us calm about finishing the bloody top 24.
Well, if we've got any ambitions of finishing top 8, this has to be a win, that's for sure. I wouldn't rule out top 8, but obviously we're going to have to beat Dortmund. I think you can afford maybe one loss to PSG, but then you have to pretty much win the rest. Yeah,
we are only 1 point outside the top 8, but we got to go to Frankfurt, we got to go to PSG, and we got Dortmund at home. Mm-hmm. So 3 very tough games.
Yeah, the 2 draws we've had against Monaco and Boda have been detrimental. And you have to say, I love, people keep saying, oh, well, I'm beating in the Champions League, but I mean, we're very lucky to be there. Like, we should not be unbeaten in this Champions League. It's something to like be happy about, but it's not something to like say it's an achievement, because like we don't deserve to be unbeaten in the Champions League.
I think we've played 3 games in the Champions League. Every single one of those 3 games, we've been really poor. Like, really poor.
We should be sitting on 1 point. We're on 5. It should have been 4 against Villarreal and 2 losses. That's
100%. 100%.
But we got a win in 2 draws.
Yeah, so you got to look at it in that sense. You know, we've got away with 1. So happy about that. But in terms of performance level and what we deserved out of the game, 100%. We haven't deserved much out of those first 3 games. So it needs to change. I need to see something more from the team in this game. And most importantly, 3 points. 3 points is a must.
Yeah, has to be 3 points if we're gonna look. I think first we'll settle down the home fans, because they're clearly getting disgruntled with what we're seeing at home, and that can't continue. We're performing so horribly. For our Champions League campaign, if we've got any ambitions of getting that top 8, it needs to be a win, but also just to solidify our top 24, because if we do lose and a few of the other teams below us win, all of a sudden we're getting close to that 24th position. So you want to avoid that as well. And we just want to see some good football. We haven't seen that in so long at home. So that just needs to change. Yeah.
I think what Frank said before the Chelsea game is, I want to see Spurs, I want to see my team go at them from minute 1. This is what I want. I'm desperate to see that in this game. Just start really fast, put them under pressure, and let's hope they can crumble and crack under the pressure, and let's hope the fans can respond to it as well and create a really good atmosphere, a really intense atmosphere. And I think if we can get the first goal pretty early on, it can open up the floodgates and we can win this game quite convincingly. However, if it is a bit of a kind of flat performance and we're doing this sideways, backwards passing, and we're not exciting the fans, and it goes a bit flat and frustrating, there is a genuine possibility that we might not walk away with the 3 points if that happens.
For sure. If we go 1-0 down, we've shown so far this season, when we concede the first goal, we struggle badly to really answer the opposition. And I was looking at some of the stats. I think when we're 1-0 down this season, we've created one of the least chances from that position when compared to other teams who are also 1-0 down. So Frank definitely has been we've been taking advantage of taking leads and stuff, and he's been managing those situations quite well, by and large.
There's been a few games though where we've gone down and looked pretty good, like against Newcastle, like against Brighton. I guess those are probably the only two.
Also, I've got a theory for this one. Obviously, Kudus is missing. We haven't talked about that. Maybe missing. Maybe on the bench if he doesn't start. Obviously, he's been the sole focus of our attack for a large part. So a lot of people are worried that he's not playing, and a lot of concern. But our best attacking display in recent weeks, anyway, has been when he was on the bench.
Against who?
Newcastle. Like, I know it's not much to go. We didn't score and we lost 2-0, but that was you probably say in the last few weeks, 4 or 5 games, that has been our best attacking display.
It's true, but the last couple of weeks have been particularly bad.
That's also true. But is there a chance that maybe, when you take Kudus out of it, because we're just so focused on finding him, we look for other solutions? Maybe we don't just rely on Kudus bailing us out of jail every time we're looking to build up and create an attack. And in that Newcastle game, we were finding Xavi in between the lines. We were finding Bergvall. We were using Johnson rightly just to get in those situations. But we were looking to the other parts of the pitch because we knew we just couldn't rely on Kudus.
Yeah.
Is there a chance maybe, with Kudus being out, that could in a weird way benefit us?
I mean, I hope so, but we know from Brennan Johnson in build-up that he's pretty much non-existent. So we need to find different avenues. I would like to see Xavi look for those balls in behind with Brennan Johnson getting the run on the defender and finding those pockets of spaces. But we have seen before in the past where, let's say, right now we're saying, look, it's impossible for us to attack without Kudus. Like, he's central to everything that we do. Well, back then, we said the same about Kane, and whenever Kane got injured, Son used to step up, and that was before Son was Son, kind of thing. So we have seen this kind of situation rumble on before. However, Brennan Johnson ain't Son, so it's hard to draw a bit of parallels.
I'm not talking about Brennan specifically. I'm saying as a team, do we look for other solutions?
We're going to have to. We've got no option to, because Kudus is not going to be there.
I know, but could it work?
Of course it can work. It can work against opposition like Copenhagen.
Yeah, but
of course it can.
Maybe in a weird way, taking that focus off Kudus and not giving... It seems as though I feel like the teams can sometimes be lazy. When we're playing, it's like, okay, we're in trouble, just go for Kudus. Like, I feel like it's almost become second nature to this team to just always look for Kudus. And maybe if you're forced to take him out, maybe long term, just for a game, they realise, okay, we don't have to look for him every time, and maybe we can actually look for these other solutions. The
problem as well that I have with it a little bit is that whenever Kudus is on the pitch, he commands 2 or 3 players on him the whole time, which frees up the other side of the pitch. Like, now, if Kudus ain't going to start, surely Odebear, if it is Odebear and Johnson, Odebear is going to command kind of a lot more attention than maybe the other side, where Odebear is probably going to be better for us in a build-up than Brennan Johnson. We know Brennan Johnson can't really do much. So I struggle to see, if Odebear is marked out of the game, how are we going to attack? How are we going to break this lot down?
I mean, you have other players. You shouldn't have to rely on... That's my point. We're not going to rely on one player now, hopefully.
We need... The solution to that is Xavi to step up. Xavi needs to massively step up in this game.
They all do. Well, if Xavi's marked out the game, maybe that will happen. My point is, we shouldn't... when Kudus is there, we're relying on him not being marked out the game to do anything. So now he's not there. Maybe we don't have to rely on one player. We can rely on the team can play with each other rather than just always looking at one thing.
But the reason we're over-reliant on Kudus is because the other players haven't been good enough.
That's true, but I also feel like that has now led to a point where the team have gotten a bit lazy. Not lazy, not trying. I'm saying the team have gotten to a point where it's okay, just go for Kudus, just aim for him. It's second nature. Oh, just aim it for Kudus and he'll dribble us out of trouble. And it's we do that all the time. And now we're going to have to look. And I'm saying against Newcastle, it took him out, and exactly what we did. We were looking on the left.
Yeah,
we were looking on the centre.
No, I do get what you're saying, and I think there is definitely some validity to it. But even when Kudus was playing and he was getting double marked in those games, and Odebear was getting all that ball, all the touches on the ball, and really heavily involved in the play, and he was looking decent, but he still didn't create much. So even when games as Kudus has been playing, it has opened up the game to the other side of the pitch, and still we haven't created much from it.
I don't really understand that theory. What are you implying, that players are coming over from right back to right mid to go and deal with Kudus, so it's leaving?
No, but they've been doubling and tripling up on Kudus, but they haven't been giving Odegaard the same attention.
Yeah, but why would, if you're doubling up, let's say, okay, left back's on Kudus, and then the left winger maybe comes over to help, why would that affect Odegaard?
Because it has been, because he hasn't been gaining the same attention that he hasn't been tripled or doubled up on. Not maybe as a sense as the same players are going to double and triple up on Kudus, but he just hasn't been gaining the same attention as what Kudus has been doing.
Okay, but why is it one linked to the other?
It's just the way it's panned out.
Not necessarily. Maybe they just don't double up on Odegaard because they don't feel like he needs doubling up on.
Okay, that's fair enough, but Kudus has been double and triple up on, and because he's doubled and tripled up on, and Odegaard hasn't been, it means there's a lot more space on the left-hand side.
Okay, that's true, but I don't think it's one causes the other.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if one causes the other or not, but that's been the situation that we've been dealing with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's why Odegaard, we've been attacking a lot down the left-hand side with Odegaard. And at the end of the day, Odegaard's looked good in flashes, but he hasn't really created much and done much of substance. And he needs to do a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, and I think he knows that. I think he needs to start getting goals and assists. That's what we're really saying.
Yeah,
he needs goals and assists.
Yeah,
that's the real meat of it, and I'm sure he's working very hard to do it. Do you think we persist with this 3-2-5 thing that we've been doing? I think that was the aim against Chelsea, although I didn't really understand it. I think because that's why obviously we played Bergvall on the left, didn't we? And obviously Xavi came on. It was supposed to be, I think the plan was actually to be Spence out wide, Bergvall, and has seen Bentancur with Sarr in the pivot, and then Kudus out wide. Then obviously Simmons comes on, Bergvall goes off, and yeah, I don't know, it didn't quite work. I feel like if you're going to do that, why not play Simmons and Bergvall? Why play one of Bentancur or Sarr further forward? It didn't make too much sense to me. Yeah. Maybe he just wanted to add that physicality, which I get that.
That's definitely what you wanted to do.
But it just led to such a horrible in-possession performance. But in this game, if we're saying what we're saying is going to be the lineup, does Odegaard tuck inside a bit, and Udogie creates that width on the outside maybe? Is that what we're
that's
saying?
what you would assume. Because Odegaard, I think he can work in those spaces, in the little pockets.
Getting Odegaard close to Xavi, that could be something good.
Yeah, 100%. I think they could, a relationship could blossom there a little bit, because Odegaard, he's kind of good in those spaces where he passes and moves on the outside or the inside of the player. And I think Xavi can work well with him, but there is maybe a sense that I don't know what the Copenhagen defenders or midfielders are like, if they're, really strong, overly aggressive players, but that Odegaard and Xavi does seem a bit lightweight.
Yeah, that is a problem. Let's say if Kudus is 100% fit for this game and he can play, I reckon he goes Johnson with Kudus next to Xavi, and then
Johnson on the left?
Johnson on the right, Kudus in the 10.
Oh, I see.
And Xavi on the left.
He could very well do that, yeah.
To get Xavi and Kudus close to each other and add that little bit of physicality as well. That's what I think he might do.
But today was the last training session before the game.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he is fit.
And both of them didn't train, Spence and Kudus. So, and Kudus was even supposed to do the press conference and he pulled out of it.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to start, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And in terms of the injury status of the squad at the moment, what was it? 12 players now. We're getting more and more players every game.
Yeah.
It's a situation.
Yes, I mean Kudus and Jed are very short-term injuries. The rest of those injuries, Maddison's been long-term since last season.
Well.
Yeah, Gray.
Yeah.
Maddison's been long-term since last season. Kulusevski's been long-term since last season. Radu's been long-term since last season. So the only real new ones on that list are Solanke, Ben Davis, and Archie Gray. Really, I mean, even Solanke, you could say it's from last season. So the actual only worrying ones from this season is Archie Gray. Really, I mean, Kudus and Jed Spence, you assume they're going to be fine for the next game. They're only knocks, they're going to be fine. So in terms of actually worries of injuries being built up. You look at that list, the majority are actually from last season.
Yeah, but they're still there. That's and it's putting a lot of strain on the squad, isn't it? At the moment, that's something that maybe is that being considered enough when we're talking about how we're playing?
Nah, I don't think it should make an impact, to be honest. I really don't. Like, I still think we've got more than enough players. You look at the bench that we had against Chelsea, it was a very good bench, you know, some top quality players on there. So I don't think it should be used as an excuse at all.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's more about who's there rather than who's missing. And you look at the players who we have. I mean, we have good players to play. We should be able to muster an opportunity against Chelsea.
The reality is we're missing Maddison and Kulusevski so much. But we've got Javi there. Javi's a very good player in his own right. The only problem with Javi is he hasn't kind of hit the ground running since coming in, and we all maybe expected him to do a lot better at this moment in time, which hasn't happened. So we just got to keep supporting him through it, and hopefully the good performances will come, and it's going to start this week. It's going to start tomorrow.
All right, well, big game tomorrow. Big game to turn our fortunes around.
Yeah, we're going to win. We're going to have a good performance, and everyone's going to breathe a sigh of relief going into the Manchester United game with some good kind of energy.
So you're saying you're going into this game confident?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is great. You know what happens when we're going confident.
Yeah, you can't not be confident against Copenhagen at home. Come on, like, what are we doing here?
What happens if we do lose, like, really badly? Not like 3-0, but like, you know, why we lose 1-0, another horrible performance in possession. Like, is Frank?
I don't want to think about that, to be honest.
Like, is Frank under like serious pressure then?
What specific set of events are you bringing? Like a really bad performance?
I'm saying
and
we lose 1-0,
1-0.
similar to Chelsea. Maybe we create a bit more chances, but again, it's another really bad in possession play, and we lose 1-0.
If we lose against Copenhagen at home, then yeah, there's got to be a lot of questions asked. We can't lose against Copenhagen at home. Like, I know Copenhagen on their given day can be a very good side, but we cannot lose this game. Like, no, we can't.
Yeah, the next two are big. We just need to get this home thing off our back. Like, we just.
But also, winning against Copenhagen does not get the home thing off our back. That's the reality.
Well, when you're failing to beat Wolves.
Yeah, I get that, but it's one game against Copenhagen. Like, if we beat Copenhagen convincingly and then go beat Manchester United, then maybe it's starting to do that.
Do we need 2 wins out of 2?
This guy's right, by the way. Sim's so giddy about the Frank hypotheticals.
Just being hypothetical. You've got 2 buttons. And just throwing out hypotheticals about what's at stake in this game.
It's because everyone brought those to you with Ange, and now you're trying to give it back.
I'm just asking the question. Well, I haven't been anti-Frank in this stream. Or even since he's come. I'm not anti-Frank. I like Frank.
Yeah.
I like him, and I think he is doing a good job. I think the last game was horrendous, and I think there are a lot of question marks, but at the end of the day, it's 10 games in. What am I going to do? Start calling for his head? I think that would be unfair. Completely unfair. And it's not. You
always try to sow the seed, man. Sow the anti-Frank seed without being anti-Frank.
How am I sowing the seed?
By bringing up all these kind of hypotheticals.
We have to look at every direction.
We'll look at it when it's half and said and done. You've given your opinion. You think we're going to win.
Yeah.
Are you confident?
I'm actually not, but I
think
we are.
You're not confident?
No, I'm not confident.
That means we're going to win.
Exactly.
What happens if I'm super confident and you're not confident? Then what happens?
The world will end.
Look, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens.
It's just, we talk about, obviously he's got to win, but it's also, I think, good to talk about if he doesn't, I guess we cross that bridge when we come to it, but
exactly.
like, what is at stake in this game in terms of if he doesn't win, how much pressure he's going to be under? It's be interesting.
I think it all needs to play out, and then we can make our assessments and our judgments. That's the reality. I don't think we can kind of jump the gun before the game and if he does this and if he does that.
What if we win 1-0 and it's a corner and that's it?
Then we've won the game. Then we've won the game. 3 points.
Does it matter? Do you think the fans will care long term if that, games like, for example, Everton and that's just how we're playing?
What, and we're consistently winning?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't care anyway. I don't think fans should care. If you're winning games consistently, that's what football's about. Win games consistently. I know maybe, you got your football purists and and they'll probably.
What happened to there is to do? You know?
There is to do.
Yeah, really, is that gone out the window?
So if we're winning, let's say we win a trophy playing that way, you're not going to be happy with it?
I'm not saying not happy. I'm just saying, is that what we want?
If we're winning, I don't care. Like, I don't care how we're playing. Just win football matches. Like, it really does not make a difference to me. As long as we're winning, then it's completely fine. If we're losing and playing like that, that's where you need to draw the line, because that is not on. If you're winning, you need to just win football matches. I don't think it matters how you play, in my opinion. Maybe other people have different opinions on that, but that's me.
I think, does it matter? I would like a manager to embody the ethos of the club. That's my personal opinion. I'm not saying look, as long as he's winning, it doesn't matter. But that comes into it once results start to turn 100%. If you're not winning and then you're also playing some kind of in a coward, if the team's playing in a fairly cowardly way like they were on Saturday, then that obviously is like doubly. It's like a double strike, or immediately you're not winning and you're playing that way. But yeah, look, if you're winning, it doesn't really matter. Your winning's winning. That is a very important thing. But I feel like at this club, winning that way doesn't seem to be a long-term thing. Always seems to be happens, and then the fans start to turn on it. But I guess that's when the winning stops. But we'll see.
But it needs to change at some point, Some manager needs to come in and be successful with this football club, and whoever that manager is, I'm hoping it's Frank. Hopefully, I don't care the style of football that they have, as long as they win football matches. That's what it all comes down to. So it is what it is, Ange Postecoglou did it his way, and he won a trophy, but then he lost 22 games in a season, and we finished 17th. So I think we need a bit of both. We need to win football matches in the cup, bring a few cups home, but also be successful in the league as well.
Would you ever consider bringing Conte back?
Conte? Yeah, well, I love Conte.
You'd bring him back?
Yeah, I would bring him back. Yeah, I would bring it. If he gets, if this is ENIC 2.0, and they'll actually give him what he needs and wants, and we can have a proper Conte team, I would bring Conte back. I think Conte is a top man, top manager.
Doing well at the moment. Yeah, I'm just wondering, because obviously.
Would you not?
I don't know. I don't think I would. I don't know if I want to go through that again. As much
go
as
through
good,
what though? Like the first 6 months we were brilliant, and then it all fell apart because we were bringing in long gaps and long lays and all these.
It's just kind of. He's just too much, Conte. He's so intense. Everything is like, I'm going to leave. I'm going to quit every week. It's like, oh, for God's sake.
But he's quality. But he called out what needed to be called out at that moment in time. Like everything was wrong at this football club. Everything was, and. You can't have Conte as your manager if everything's wrong at the football club. It just doesn't work.
I think down the line, if let's hope Frank works out and he starts playing good football, but down the line, let's say Frank's had an amazing 5 years and he's won all the trophies. At that point, yeah, I would like to think we can bring in I'd like to. Why can't we have a good attacking manager? Why do they not exist? They must do.
Yeah, but I mean. Who are they? We can bring Jurgen Klopp.
Get Company in. Get Klopp.
Company. Yeah, Company's going to leave Bayern Munich to come to Spurs.
Nagelsmann, maybe he'll be out of a job in Germany by then.
Maybe. Look, if you ask me, do I prefer to play attacking football and win football matches? Of course. Of course I do. But if we are playing kind of counter-attacking football or defensive-minded football and winning football matches, that's fine for me too. But my preference would be attacking football. But I don't mind if it's not attacking football and we are winning. That's what it comes down to.
I wouldn't seek out, is my point. I wouldn't go and hire one of these. I'd try and hire an attacking manager.
Yeah, that's fine. But if we don't have an attacking manager and we're winning, you're not going to care. No, it doesn't matter because we're winning games.
Yeah.
So look, let's leave it there, guys. We are both going for Spurs win. Sim, not too confident. I'm going into it a bit confident. But yeah, let's see where we're at. Sim and Mr. Brian Daigle on the watch long tomorrow. So tune in just before 8 o'clock. And we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.